Previously on Tales from the Humpback Sky.
I burn.
Right. Okay.
Owen, open yourself to it.
Bernard, he's our mate. I've got to save him. What's going to happen? Owen looks down at his arm, chuckling as all of the flesh falls off in flakes of black ash, leaving him with a skeletal hand up to his elbow.
Well, we probably shouldn't linger any further.
Garnet, you right, mate?
I'm all right. Oh, there's rejuvenation slugs. Let them do their work and do not struggle.
Oh, something's happening, Owen. It's a little freaky.
Now that we're feeling a bit better, where are we going to next?
We're heading back to Simeon's house to deliver him the Squid Boy.
Quartet content in companionship, found, bound, forged, profound, venture forth, stay the course, adventure's thirst proves the source, further reflection, demonic rejection, advisor worm-faced deflection, greed embodied in hoof and girth, swallowed whole by inverse birth, new sun dawned from many born, came a shattered work and a broken maw. Now roaring engines simmer to a rumbling calm, and the smoke exhaust diffuses as your machines come to a stop, just outside the door of Simeon, Sours, Sundries, and such. You enter inside to the bright tinkling of a bell, entering into the large, esoterically liminal aisled expanse that sprawls around you, and there, in his usual space behind the counter, is the enigmatic, tall, strangely familiar yet ominously mysterious Simeon Sours.
Mr. Sours, we have returned.
Yep.
Owen, give him the stuff. The stuff.
Okay. Yep. It's a bit wet. Here you go. There's some tentacle matter for you there, buddy. Should be all, just give it a prod around, I think, on three or four different samples there, different colours, different smells. Pretty good, though. They're not alive anymore, these things, so, I don't know.
Oh, no.
No,
I don't know whether it's that worth giving you the sample now, given that...
Well, we've done it, so...
all murdered.
They're
not
dead.
murdered. We don't do that. We
defended ourselves with much force onto these things. And here they are. Also, we got these knives. Show them the knives.
Oh, yes. And Ridge takes out 7 stone daggers and lays them out on the counter in front of Mr. Sours. And, says, oh, these may not look like much now, but in the hands of the pseudomorphs, they were unbelievably godly powerful.
Yeah, that one there almost erased me. Ooh, almost got erased with that one. So, job done. Bish, bash, bosh.
He went all ghosty and stuff. It doesn't sound very Ridge to swear.
No, fuck no. No, never.
You find it difficult, as always, to read his expression, but you get a sense of curiosity and bemusement, and then piqued interest as you lie these stone daggers across the space. You see his hand move out, and it doesn't touch the tentacles, but it moves over them, and the tentacles just kind of disperse and turn into dust.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't want to vacuum that up later.
Thank you for...
a bit of a mess. Don't worry about it. Let's brush that off.
Thank you for dealing with my problem. I appreciate it, and I am in your debt in that regard. Thank you. Now, these daggers, and his hands take one, and he lifts them up and begins inspecting. Very curious.
If it means anything to you, In this place, we found giant statue they are worshipping with many faces, many hands, and missing daggers.
Many butts.
Many butts.
He places down one of the daggers and says, where did you come across this shrine exactly?
Under the pseudomorph house. Downstairs through a door. Oh, through a hole in the wall.
Yeah, the back of the
Janitors. Janitor club cupboard. Yeah.
Hmm.
Kinda hidden.
Give me a moment. And he blips and then blips back. And it's like a second. Sorry to keep you waiting.
What?
Yes. I believe I can assess these daggers for you. I have an understanding of what they might be. If you have the time, of course.
What do you think, Owen? You want to find out what these daggers are all about, or?
Oh, if you want, Ridge, I'm not fussed either way, mate.
Yeah, I kind of was going to give them as a gift to you, Mr. Sowers. We don't actually have a particular need for these particular kind of weapons.
No, I don't want them.
After listening to your story and your description, I looked over several tomes, and I can tell you that these are the daggers of Mongrail, the seventh murdered hand, shape-shifting goddess of stabbing bastards.
Yeah, cool.
These daggers each carry a name and a power. Now, only under a specific circumstance can they be activated, a rather bloody one.
Are you going to tell us what this bloody
what is it?
ritual is that unlocks them? Or do we have to work it out for ourselves? We're not the, problem-solving type normally. We punch first, ask questions later.
If you wish to unlock these particular daggers, one needs to spill the blood of someone you trust or trusts you.
That's bullshit.
Goodness.
What the heck, man? What?
So those pseudomorphs must have been turning on each other to unlock these things.
Well, they did, didn't they? They were going mental in their little house. They were killing everybody, writing stuff on the wall.
Oh, yes.
Willing or unwilling, as long as the subject is someone that you trust and trusts you in turn.
Well, these are nasty
the
knives.
ritual-
Nasty.
Yes, they are. But I can tell you which is which and what they do if you wish further information. But I can also just dispose of them if you
Yes,
desire.
check them out.
Yep,
I don't
chuck
want
'em. Yeah. We have no need for them. But there is two more things I wanted to bring to your attention, Mr. Sowers. Do you remember not long ago, we helped you out with a certain frosty time problem, and there was a night pig in your basement area? Do you remember that?
I do.
Yes. Well, that night pig was at the center of all of this, and he had taken over a device and was pulling in variants of himself from across the multiverse to feed upon them, and he grew very, 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 very large. And it's a bit complicated, but there's another version of me out there with all of those different night pigs inside of it. It's not really me, it's just a copy of my body. Yes, I can see as I begin to explain this, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but yes, there's a lot of night pigs inside a body of mine, and we don't know where it's gone or what it's going to do.
I'm sure it's fine.
Going to be absolutely fine. I think so too. We should just move on and pretend it never happened.
I think that's probably for the best. I'm sure if it's important, it will come again. If not, why worry? And he does a similar wave of his hand, and you see each of the daggers slowly disappear.
Okay, great. I'm sick of those things. Take them away. Don't want them.
I may be asking too much here, Mr. Sowers, but in our self-defense, I needed to take some drastic measures, and my chrome shard was utterly destroyed. I no longer have any armor, and I'm a little short on funds.
And clothes, if you take a look.
Oh, yes. I am wearing a pie dish and some tarp, as you can see. I was wondering if you had any, for the kindness of your heart, or, in return, maybe for what we just did, is there anything you could maybe provide me so I don't look so ridiculous?
Well, considering you've done me multiple kindnesses of late, and you have given to me these daggers, which have a rather unique value, although a sinister one, I feel that you are entitled to some store credit.
Store credit, sounds good.
I would be amiss if I did not offer you something. You wish for a replacement?
That would be, I would be ecstatic to have a replacement. It was my favorite piece of gear that I'd worn on my body for quite some time.
It is not a particularly rare item, and I have several in stock. I can easily replace it for you. No trouble.
Oh, but while we're talking about this, I would be more than willing to give this up if you could help Owen, who lost something a little more important to him.
He looks at you, Owen, and you feel perceived. And he pauses and then says, yes, I see you are indeed missing something.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can help you. I'm not sure if I can help you.
I don't think you can either, mate. I appreciate the idea, Ridge, but it's not something you can be given, or it's not something you can be bought. So
Simeon Sowers looks at you, Owen, and says, you are Kurgan. Is that right?
you know it, baby. No, I've got it. Don't worry, Simeon. I'm not asking you for this. I know what I'm about. Okay, I've got a plan.
He then looks at you, Owen, and then says, forgive me if I'm a little rusty. And then in slightly broken Kurgan, he says to you, a weapon cannot be bought but bound. It is one taken, made, or found. Fate must decide if they are worthy. Discovery is a path, a journey to glory. That, I believe, is an old Kurgan rhyme.
Yeah, it is. Owen nods and then says back, and says in a serious tone back to him, never drink the blood of the innocent. It tastes like copper. Never eat chicken that's been left out overnight. It'll give you the shits.
Simeon laughs and says, yes, very true. Very, very true.
Yes.
And then he turns to you, Reg, and says, in Kurgan culture, one cannot buy their weapons.
This is one of those times where I've been insensitive to your culture again, isn't it, Owen? I'm very sorry about that. In fact, I'm so embarrassed, I'm going to slip away now. And his body shimmers and shakes, and then the familiar form of Sophia returns. Hi again, Owen. I thought...
hey, Rich.
Yeah, Duncan's a bit embarrassed about how he, was a bit culturally insensitive, so he stepped away for a moment.
Mate, it's not a problem.
Yes, so thank you, Mr. Sowers, for the Chrome Shroud. I will make good use of it, and I'm enjoying our working relationship.
Is there anything else that you require? Anything else that comes to mind? Anything of interest that I can help you with? I still feel as if I am in your debt to some extent still.
Well, we are planning at some point in the near future to take a little trip away from Troika, head out into the open humpback sky. And I'm not sure if there's anything in particular I'm going to ask you, but I haven't traveled away from Troika for a while. And if there was some way that we could stay in touch with you, in case we needed anything while we're out and about. Do you have shops in other cities or other dimensions?
You still have my card, yes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we do, yeah.
If you have my card, then you can keep in contact with me.
Very good. Well, if we need you, we'll be in touch. And I guess, unless there's something you wanted right now, Owen?
No, I don't think so.
Is Thelog still with us?
Yeah, Thelog's with you.
Oh, is there anything you want, Thelog? We got credit here. Need fuel for your ship?
No, I think everything is pretty good. Do you want more provisions? I mean, we can probably get those somewhere else. I don't know. I have all the astrological equipment I need. I've got my star map. I've got my astrolabe. Yeah, I'm pretty good.
All right, sweet. I know it kind of feels a little bit dumb to go into this shop of infinite anythings that owes us stuff and be like, nah, we good, peace. But honestly, mate, we good.
Well, if that's the case, I can keep your credit. But due to our relationship, if you wish to cash out, I would hypothesize that the credit owed would come to around 500 silver pence.
Jesus, beeses. Whoa, jeez. All right.
That's a lot of dosh.
Oh, you have given me quite the items. And
Who knew that
done,
a set of legendary steak knives could be so lucrative?
and done for me a great service. Not only did you deal with those who stole my property, but you also dealt with another creature that damaged my property and caused great harm to my employees.
Yeah.
That is valuable too.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, would it be upsetting or offend you in any way if to know that that particular night pig that started all that is inside of me now?
I don't really feel upset about things.
Okay. All right. Well, he's in there. We're having a little heart to heart, or we have been, and we've come to a little arrangement.
Oh, good. Well,
Okay, well, I think that's as much shopping as I've got on me, so we'll catch you later, Simeon.
if I may,
Oh, yep.
Oh, it's like, let's get the fuck out of here. Yes, Mr. Sowers?
now I have just recently refurbished the memory booths.
Ooh.
Ooh.
If you are interested, I could hook you into one free of charge as part of payment.
Just so I remember, these are the booths which let you take on the memories and effectively skills and knowledge of another person, correct?
Correct.
And who do you have in your memory booths at the moment? What kind of people or beings?
Well, currently, I have a dwarven tunneler.
Ooh.
I have a sorcerer from the College of Friends. I have a rhino man.
Ooh.
I also have a quite aggressive but currently sedated parchment witch.
Ooh, I've heard of those. Very dangerous.
All within those booths can provide you with a skill.
Rhino Man. Hands up, Rhino Man, me.
There's something I've always wanted to be able to do better, which is to not get hit by things that almost kill me. Do you have any of those beings have any skills that would help me dodge or, jump out of the way faster? Because I've always been a bit clumsy in that regard. Even though I'm so good at killing things, I'm so bad at not getting killed myself.
Well, the dwarf is rather adept at tunnel fighting, if that is
can't
something.
hurt. I can't hurt to give it a go. Yes, if it wasn't for Owen, I'd be dead multiple times over.
Yeah, this is true. And I'm feeling like nothing could hurt me if I was a Rhino Man.
Very well. If you wish, you can use the remaining coin at your disposal and choose another skill, or perhaps become more adept at the skill that you will siphon from their memory. It will make us even, however, if you do not wish to part with all of your credit.
Can we have mechanically speaking, can we just have a chat about this so I understand? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So are you suggesting that if we spend our 500 gold, you would let us either learn a brand new skill, like get a guaranteed level up?
If you
Or-
spend 500 silver pence, which is your credit currently with Simeon Sowers, you will both be able to get either 2 skills with 1 rank or 1 skill with 2 ranks.
And this guaranteed ranking, not having to roll
Guaranteed.
for it. Holy moly.
Guaranteed.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I want a 2-skiller.
I want to do 2 skills by 1.
And I want 1 skill by 2.
Okay.
Mr. Sowers, you've sold us. We are all in. Let's burn that credit and get those skills pumping in our brains.
Very
Yeah,
well.
pump my brain, Sours. Pump it.
Pump it full of the good juice.
Pump it full of rhino.
Full of dwarven tunneling juice.
I believe you know the way. And he gestures, and as you look, there is a familiar aisle, and you see a familiar sign above a familiar door at the very end of that aisle, denoting the memory booths. And there is a very thin, young man with a very clean-shaven head, wearing a similar looking suit, although not quite as fine as Simeon's. Simeon says, Elias will help you connect with your booth.
Hello, Elias. I'm Ridge.
And I am Owen. Don't be alarmed. I'm sure my beautiful and muscular body will fit in one of these rhino booths.
Elias looks at both of you and just says, I'm Elias.
You down tootin'?
Yes. I don't mean to be rude, but we've got a friend waiting to fly us into the humpback sky. Sorry about this, Thelog. We're just getting stronger and better. Could we get the juices pumping?
It's rhinos, Thelog. It's rhinos. I'm going to get a rhino in my brain.
Hey, it's a rhino.
You just see Thalog just give you two big thumbs up, and then he puts the diamond over his head, and then he says, you go do you, man.
Diamonds forever. Diamonds are forever.
And then Elias gestures you to come inside the space and just says, I'm Elias.
Okay.
So you can see inside a familiar room, although now it is completely cleaned up. The machines have been completely fixed and refabricated, and you see these large, big pods of brass, and inside these glass tubes, there are these very strange individuals, a rather ruddy-looking, broad-shouldered, blocky-looking dwarf. There is a very tall and slender female form wrapped with this strange brownish parchment paper. You can just make out the kind of darkness where their eyes should be, and the strange, almost skeletal mouth that is protruding out from the ripped partridge at the bottom of their chin. You can see in another booth this huge, hulking rhinoceros man with
Me.
hard gray skin and armored plate. And then in another is a young woman with crimson and gold and purple robes with a little pointed hat. But Elias gestures to each one of your booths, and there is a small seat in front of each one and a headset which is attached to a little hook. Elias gestures to you, Ridge, and just says, I'm Elias.
Ridge, without any hesitation, steps in, sits down, puts the helmet on.
And then Elias looks at you very seriously. He gestures to a few little knobs that he begins to kind of tweak. And he looks at you very seriously and says, I'm Elias. I'm Elias. I'm Elias. I'm Elias. I'm Elias. I'm Elias. And then he clicks a little button, and then he takes the headset off of your head and then turns it around the other way. And he says, I'm Elias.
Oh, of course. So, yeah. Sorry.
And then he kind of makes a gesture where he goes, I'm Elias, and he points to one ear, I'm Elias, and then he turns mimes turning the headset around on his own head, and then he makes a gesture like his hand is going through one ear and then out the other, and then kind of makes a hand gesture of like something dissipating into nothingness.
Ridge tries to interpret this and picks her hand up and tries to push it through her ear.
And then Elias cocks his head and then puts a thumb up and says, I'm Elias. And then he does a similar thing with you, Owen, makes a few adjustments. And then he goes to a central console unit, and he steps up into the central portion of the console unit, and he begins twiddling a few knobs. You see these little almost gauges that begin to move up, and these little lights that begin to slowly turn on and shine a little brighter. The booths begin to move, and there is a humming, and you hear this, and the booths themselves become very bright inside until you can no longer see the individuals. Elias then takes one big fist and goes, I'm Elias. Bang! And then, Reg, you feel this incredibly sharp pain in your head, and then your consciousness is pushed back into the void as you feel with incredible speed your mind racing through these strange alien dwarven thoughts, and it stops. And in front of you is this old dwarven man with this big gray beard, and he's looking at you with his strange, almost square-like head and his square-like eyes and his square-like pupils, and he says, we dig, and we dig some more. And that's what we do. And then it moves again. And then you're standing at a stone slab, and lying on the slab, you see the same dwarven man, but he's much older. And you can see his skin is turning to stone. And he looks up at you with love in his eyes and his hand towards you, and he says, we dig. And then it shifts to the side, and you see a dwarven woman holding a small dwarven child. And she says, if only you weren't so damned interested in digging, you'd know your son. And then it moves again. And then suddenly you are in a tunnel, and you see this horrific open mouth with massive spear-like protrusions for teeth, and it is moving towards you, and you hear behind you, it's a worm, kill it, dig it to death, dig out its heart. And then it shifts again, and you feel yourself up on the shoulders of many dwarves as you are going through this great parade. Behind you, you see this long body of this very deceased-looking worm with a shovel protruding out of its body. And again, you see that older man standing up aloft, looking down from a balcony, looking at you with pride in his eyes. And you look up at him, and he looks down at you, and he mouths the words, dig. And then everything freezes, turns, and you feel yourself falling from a great height. And then you land back on the cushioned seat. And you feel the headset incredibly hot.
Yeah, and then Ridge says, just whistles under her breath, dig them to death.
Okay, so...
I thought he was going to say, I know dig foo.
That's better.
Okay, so there's a few here. One is tunnel fighting.
Oh, so I can't just pick any skill that I've got.
I'm gonna give you the basic skills that he has. Okay.
The smorgasbord.
And you can choose from those skills because you've essentially kind of lived his life.
There's dig. There's dug.
Yes. So he's got quite a few to choose from. So one, yes, is digging. That is definitely one of his skills. The other skill he has. The other skills that he has is tunnel fighting. He also has sculpting and painting and metalworking and construction, and he has strength and fist fighting and wrestling, and that is his skill set.
Oh my goodness. And tunnel fighting, I'm guessing, as with all things in Troika, is a lot up to interpretation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. There's no sword fighting or bow fighting there, is there, Tom?
Nope, there isn't.
Okay, I think she's going to put 2 points in tunnel fighting.
Okay.
That's the most interesting one, I think.
Yeah. I can imagine as we go through, that could come in handy.
It's not going to help in any schemes like painting and metalwork would, but I'm okay with it.
Okay.
We've done that bit anyway, so we can't do it again.
It worked. It worked.
I think the next heist will involve decoupage.
Découpage.
The headset is very, very warm, almost hot. You take it off, you place it back on the hook, and you find yourself rather hungry, Ridge, and you don't know where this hunger comes from, but you feel it can only be satiated by eating a gem.
Whoa. Anyone got any shinies? Oh, I'm feeling a little peckish.
As soon as you say this, Elias is right next to you, and he's got a little garnet in his hand, and he just says, I'm Elias.
She looks him in the eye as she takes it to make sure it's okay.
Yeah.
And then she slips it in her mouth. Now, Ridge doesn't normally eat gems, so is this a different kind of gem? What does it feel like putting it in her mouth?
As soon as you put it in your mouth, it is exactly like what you would expect a hard gemstone to feel. And you instantly and as it swirls around in your mouth, that hunger does fade away. And then you just kind of, do you swallow it or do you spit it out? You feel like you could swallow it if you wanted to.
Well, if I feel like I can, she does. And just like making eye contact the whole time with Elias, swallows it.
Elias just nods and then he just says, Elias. I'm Elias.
She puts her hand up for like high five.
And he high fives you. Click.
Yes.
You then kind of turn and you can see that Owen is currently in the process of his own memory meld. Owen, you feel that similar speed, that stretching as your mind is excavated out of the back of your skull at great speed. It travels and then it stops and you are in a vast grassy plain, a few sparse trees. The sun is high in the sky. The sky is a beautiful, crisp blue, a few puffy clouds, and you are chewing. And then your ears prick up and you turn your head and you see a wizard with a weird looking syringe just go, ah! And then everything goes black. And then you feel your consciousness shift again and you feel yourself eyes opening as a large gurney is tilted upwards. Big metallic manacles click open and you look at these big gray strange hands. Big gray legs protrude out of your body and you take a few steps forward. You look.
Father, what have you made me?
You look and you see a very scrawny looking wizard with a long white beard and these big bushy eyebrows and a manic look in his bright blue eyes. And he says,
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! You're mine now, you piece of shit, and you've got to protect me.
You feel an immense sense of anger, and then he takes out a little button and clicks it, and then you feel this electric surge. And he says,
And there's more of that medicine.
and then your brain shifts. And then suddenly you are running. You are in metal plate. You have a massive hammer in one hand and a shield in the other. You are moving with your brothers. You are to protect your master, and you are moving towards a horde of vicious, violent orcs who have come to steal your master's secrets. And you clash, and there is blood, and there is steel, and you bite off the head of the leader orc, and you rip open his body, revealing his innards and his black, glistening blood and his guts, and you eat his heart, and then you say, protect! And it shifts, and you are standing with your brethren around a deathbed. You hear the death rattle of the wizard you must protect, but you cannot protect him from this. You cannot protect him from death. He looks at you.
Oh, no.
And he says, you're all shit.
Oh.
And now you're free. But what is this new freedom? And you shift and everything goes dark. And your eyes open, Owen, and you feel the heat on your head as you take off the headset.
Hot. Oh.
Was it as weird for you as it was for me, Owen?
I assume it was, yeah. It was nasty. It was good. There was a good bit. There was a cool bit. There was a cool battle. There's a lot of shit.
Feel a sense of sadness and grief, and then this weird sense of confusion and anger. And then it subsides, and you just feel really hungry for grass. And then
I need that grass, man.
And then you turn and you see Elias with a thick plume of fresh green grass in his hands. And he says,
Perfect.
I'm Elias.
You're done tooting.
And it tastes like grass.
Delicious. But also, I don't want this anymore.
Okay. So you have a few skills that you can choose from. One is spear fighting.
Okay.
The other is hammer fighting.
Okay.
You have run.
Run?
You have strength.
Oh, okay.
And gambling.
Gambling? Okay. Run. Could you interpret run to be like a rhino stampede run?
I think so.
I choose run. I choose 2 and run.
2 and run. Okay. You feel the spirit of the horde within you. All right.
I like it. I don't feel like I would normally be a runner awayer, but a runner towards her. Yeah.
You could be a runner. Yeah, I think you can be a runner after her.
Yeah. Like a hunter downerer
Yeah.
with run.
Yeah.
A stampede.
Yeah.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah. In fact,
Run.
let's call it that. Instead of calling it run, shall we call it
Let's call it
stampede?
stampede. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We must.
Okay.
We must.
So you have 2 ranks in the stampede skill, and then Ridge, was it 2 ranks in tunnel fighting?
Tunnel fighting. Yes.
Okay, great.
2 ranks. Yeah.
Elias gestures for you to exit, and he waves. I'm Elias.
Good to meet you, Elias. If you ever want to join my collective, let me know.
He nods, and then he looks at you both and then says, I'm Elias. And as he's talking, he points to you, then he points to his eyes and makes like a bleeding motion out of his eyes, a bleeding motion out of his ears, out of his mouth. He then makes a vomit kind of mime, and then he points at both of you and then just says, shrugs and waves.
All right. That was distressing and upsetting, but all right.
Yes, this whole place it's amazing most of the time and horrifying at others.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to get. It's Simeon Sours. That should be his theme song. You never know what you're going to get. It's Simeon Sours. Become a rhino. Fight a pig.
And dig until you kill a big worm.
What?
I didn't tell you. I in my vision, I got to kill a big worm with a spade. Or
Geez,
shovel.
don't tell Bernard that. He'll be rolling in my guts.
Be a dwarf, love your dad, be strange to your wife and your little son.
Don't
Hey,
even
Owen.
worry about that. Just dig. Simeon's house. It's the best place.
Hey, Owen or Thalog, either one. Can you tell what's the difference between a shovel and a spade?
Oh, no, that's a great question. A shovel can be used to decapitate your enemy with a swift thrust,
Right.
but a spade can be used to cave in their chest.
Oh.
That's the difference.
Is that your interpretation of Thalog?
Yeah, I think like a spade is like it's got a point to it, and a shovel is like a round. I think.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So I think Owen, pretty much hit that on the head. What do you think, Kennick?
Yes, Kinnick, who's here.
Oh, yes, Kinnick. I forgot about you.
Still on your feet there, Kinnick? Haven't passed
I'm
out
glad
yet,
you-
mate?
I'm glad you're feeling healthy again, Kinnick.
Oh, yeah, we got wormed. We're fine. We got slugged.
No, I'm feeling good. Just waiting for you guys.
Yeah, cool, mate. My best friend.
Yes.
Excuse me?
I was talking to you, Ridge. My best friend.
I hope so.
I look at Thalog and wink.
Traitor.
Let's go.
All right. And Simeon, you see Simeon Sowers. He doesn't quite wave, but he holds up a hand. And then you find yourselves back out on the teeming streets of Troika. You're able to remount your hogs. Both of you can't quite shake the memories. They are fading. But Owen, you feel a longing for the great savannah. Ridge, you really miss your dad. And then the hogs rev into life and they hurtle towards home. And finding yourself back at the tavern, back in the apartment of, what's her name?
Leora.
Leora. Yeah, there we go. Back in the apartment of.
I'm sorry, did
Leora.
I remember?
You remembered and I
Amazing.
forgot. Now,
What?
now you are the game master.
Good. Everybody dies. The end.
The ending you all deserved. Oh, it's unsatisfying? Did you pay for
Too
this
bad.
podcast?
That's the metaphor. That's the metaphor, though.
That's the metaphor.
So metaphorical.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's so full of meaning. You now have an opportunity to get better.
Oh, good. Yes.
So you can rest. You'll be able to restore your luck. You don't need to worry about stamina. That's already been restored by the slugs.
Slugs did that.
Slugs did it. But any of your skills that you used since your last getting better, you can now test them and go up.
How many can you do at a cast? Is it 2 or 3?
I believe it's 3. I believe.
Okay, I'm going to use 3 skills. So
Let's say it's 3.
okay, I was thinking that Ridge would return to the training house we went, and there was the robot trainer, to get her sword checked out, because obviously it is tainted in some way.
Absolutely.
And on the way, could hog ride there to practice hog riding skills.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and before we move on to that, I'm happy to do that. What's your plan there, Owen?
I've got a plan.
Okay.
Involves Chud and Mandy.
Let's. Okay. Let's do Owen first.
Okay. All right. So Owen was in the Velvet Screaming house and says to Kennick and Thalog and Ridge, all right, lads, there's something I just got to go do. So I'll see you in the morning. Bye. And he stomps outside. He goes around the side of the house to the tool shed, where he retrieves 2 shovels and 1 spade. And he holds them under one arm, gets upon his robot unicorn attack motorbike, sets the K-pop Demon Hunters theme song going, and rides off across town to the dormitory for guards, where he gets 2 stones and throws them up to the windows of Chud and Mandy.
You throw it a few times, and then you see the curtains are pulled, a light turns on, the window shutters are opened up, and you see the 2 heads of Chud and Mandy both wearing sleeping caps.
Yes.
What is the nature of their relationship?
I will never tell you.
They are in a bodybuilding team. What more do you need to know?
Yeah. They're a bodybuilding team, and they live at the library.
Yeah. In the dormitory for guards.
The guard dormitory at the library.
Taylor's all his time.
It doesn't have to be any more complicated than what it is.
Stop trying to ship them, Stephen.
Okay.
You're a constant Chud and Mandy shipper.
I've seen your drawings.
Your fanfic.
Your fanfic on Reddit and your drawings on Tumblr.
Mandy thrusts Chud against the stacks at the back of the library. Oh, my breastplate has come unbuckled, says Mandy.
The big spider's there somewhere, watching.
She's in the corner,
Averted.
doing that thing that flies do when they just rub their little legs in front of into her face. Ooh, says the spider. Anyway.
Write what you know.
Yeah.
Gotta write what you know. They look down at you and they look a bit sleepy and they go, "Oh, what's going on, Owen?
What up, Chudders, man-dogs? What's a good word?
Oh,
I got a little task for us. Do you want to give me a hand?
Hell yeah.
Come down.
Yeah. Hold on.
Come down and jump on the back.
They duck back in. You hear a rustling, and you then see climbing out of the window the 2 large, muscular, oiled forms of Chud and Mandy as they slide down the drain pipe.
Yeah, that's a good use of flex and grease. That. All right. Hop on the back. I think the unicorn can take it.
The suspension of the unicorn does kind of dip, but it takes it as they both sit behind you. And then like Chud puts their arms around Mandy, Mandy puts their arms around you, and then let's go.
Yeah. And we zoom off through town.
I feel like I've made a decision with Chud and Mandy that it's just the same voice, and it's going to be unclear whether it's Chud or Mandy unless I specify.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
But they are not related. That's my first little thing I'm going to say.
Let's be very clear.
Oh, breadcrumbs. Here we
They're
go.
neither children nor are they related.
No, and their gender is ambiguous. Perhaps
It's their own business.
depending on whether or not I gendered them previously.
Which I also don't remember.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. But
The gender is bodybuilding.
any eager listener can go back to that episode and out me. Yeah. Okay, where do we go?
Right, so I pull over by a giant sign that reads, "Memorial to all those who died in the great tragedy of the fallen Crimson Citadel."
Oh dear.
There's like a big black like monolith with all the names.
Yeah, scrawled on it. But each name, it's a black monolith, but the names are in red because they've inlaid it with the crushed masonry from the fallen citadel.
Yes.
So, yeah, so it's red names emblazoned in black. And behind it is just a big crater filled with rubble. And I hand Mandy a spade and Chud a shovel. And I say, if you wouldn't mind, there's a Kurgan relic buried under here that I'd quite like to dig up.
They
Oh.
look at each other. They then take each shovel in their hands and then they like clink them together.
Let's go! And I jump down into the crater that once was an orphanage that murdered a secret cabal of evildoers. And we start digging down, trying to get to the place where eventually, as we dig through, chucking out bits of grabbers here and there, removing like skeletons of dead orphans and evildoers aside, we dig down until we find vox boxes lying around, kick those out of the way. We find for some reason a broken like paragliding sail hand glide thing. We chuck that aside, don't need that. There's a broken box that says wheat on it. We don't need that, chuck that aside, keep digging through. And eventually we find ourselves down in the sun's rising by now. We've been at this all night, down in the lair of the pale, what remains. We find the remains of the lair of the pale, fat demon guy and his broken throne. Somehow when the citadel collapsed, it caused most of it collapsed, but there's still like an air pocket, a sort of cavern within the wreckage where the body can still be found lying spread-eagled on the ground in his throne of filth, with the maul of the Crimson Kurgan still impaled through his face.
There's a moment at the top of this excavation where this old man is leaning on a broom and he's looking down, and then another man, a little younger, in similar attire, stands beside him, and he looks down and he sees what you're doing, and he's about to say stop, but the old man puts a hand on his shoulder and he says, "Leave him, boy. They're diggers. Let them dig."
That's what I was going to say. Is I was going to ask Ridge to come with me, but he didn't pick dig.
You find this pocket, you enter inside, and taking a moment, you look around and you see it lodged in the cavity of this now kind of dried sludge and broken bone.
A bunch of half rat, half spiders scurry off the body.
You can see the long haft of a maul.
All right, Chudders, man dogs, you just hang back a second. I wander over to it, and I go down on one knee, and I say, "A weapon cannot be bought, but bound. It's one taken, made, or found. Fate must decide if they are worthy. Discovery is a path, a journey to glory. I honor you, Crimson Kurgan. I defeated you in battle. I claim this maul as my own, but I will not forget you, and I will honor you by smashing in the skulls of any fool who thinks they can get in my way. We all live in a bone home."
Look at remembering everything today.
I'm just onto
Every
it today.
nuance.
I don't know. I've had a lot of caffeine.
As you say this, you hold up the maul over your head, and a shaft of sunlight breathes down upon you, illuminating the space and your powerful silhouette. All right. Incredible. Okay.
That wasn't to update any skills. I just wanted to get them all back.
That was fantastic. All right. We're going to shift to Ridge.
Okay, so while Owen is out in the evening, Ridge also slips out shortly afterwards, goes down to find a new hog. Are there any hogs left to take?
Yeah, there were a few. So there's obviously Owen's hog, and then there is the one that Thalorg took, which looks like a large mouse with ram horns and bird wings, with these long axles that come out of the side, and then one long axle that goes out of the front. So it's like three-wheeled. But there's several others. They're all unique.
We're just going to claim another one for herself.
Yeah.
She claims this one it's quite rounded. It has a big, round, fluffy squirrel with fairy wings. And that's the one he jumps onto.
Fab. What's the wheel situation?
The wheel situation is it actually has little squirrel feet that just actually move. There's more than 2 feet. They kind of move almost like tracks in a big circle, like
Yeah.
and that's how it moves around. Yeah.
It looks like a cartoon squirrel, like going really fast.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, it does so. It goes through the streets.
Yeah, so she's slips in, and like with the tail sticking out, the big fluffy squirrel tail, that's where she rests her back. And she's just like zooming through the streets and doing kind of like little skids and slides down alleyways, scaring people as they have to jump out of her way and to get to the place where she trained before. And she parks up her squirrel hog and heads down the steps into the darkness. And again, a little bit hesitant, unsure whether this will work, takes out her sword, the one she took from Salvatus, and uses it to open the door.
There is the sound of a chiming bell, and the door opens.
She walks inside, sword first, wary, and whistles just to see if there's anyone around.
There is no sound that you perceive, but make a awareness check so you can roll under your skill.
Sure. Fail.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Okay, she goes to Morty and activates him.
Oh, hello, Inquisitor Salvatus.
Hi there, Morty. Look, I just wanted to ask about something. My sword appears to be a little bit tarnished or damaged in some way. I just wanted you to check over it, make sure that it's not anything I should be concerned about. And she presents the sword in both hands towards Morty.
Morty's hands take the blade and brings it closer as its eyes telescope out as it begins to scan over the blade itself. It takes a few moments and then its eyes telescope back and then the eyes go a deep red. And Morty says in a much deeper, more ominous tone,
"This sword has been compromised. This sword is tainted. This sword carries demonic taint. This sword is tainted. Tainted. This sword is tainted. This sword is demonically tainted."
Okay, Morty. But is it going to degrade? Could I still use it to fight? Because I need to fight. It's very important, Morty, that I have a sword to fight the demons, remember?
The eyes dull again to the usual shade, and Morty responds by saying,
"The cleansing ritual. You must cleanse it."
Okay, but before we do that, I just want to know, what's going to happen if I don't cleanse the sword?
The sword will become ineffectual against demons.
Okay, well, yes, let's cleanse it. How do I do that?
Salt.
Of course, I know that, don't I? She takes out her pouch of salt and kind of like looking at Morty like, I know what I'm doing, right? Gets a pinch of salt and sort of holds it out towards the blade of the sword and sort of looks at him like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Salt and blood. It must be mixed. Mix the salt and your life's blood.
Okay.
the poultice.
Rub the poultice on the blade. The blade. Rub the poultice, rub the blood on the blade.
Okay. She looks around the room, finds a small wooden bowl, probably used for food, and takes out her vial of demon blood, pours a little bit into the bowl, sprinkles a little bit of salt in, stirs it around with her finger, and sort of like while she's done that, she goes, "Ooh," and make sure that Morty doesn't see that. And then once it's combined, she sort of like wipes her finger clean and brings the bowl to Morty, gets a little bit of rag from somewhere, maybe a bit of chops a bit of old curtain off, and dips it in and starts sort of applying it to the blade.
As soon as the blood and the salt is mixed together, it begins to react really violently, like vinegar and baking soda. It begins to react. And you look at it and you do not want to put your finger in that. So you are very careful. And you dip the piece of cloth in it, and you can already smell that the cloth is beginning to burn. So you very quickly begin to rub it along the blade. And as you do, you can see the black kind of burnished pattern in the silver begin to rub off. And it takes a few more dips, a few more moments until finally you are satisfied. And it looks like the taint has been extracted and cleansed. But you are currently, I'm going to say, out of salt and out of demon blood.
Oh, okay.
There is salt here that you can, in the headquarters, in this little, what would you call it? This little...
It was a safe house.
Little safe house, this little sanctuary. There is definitely salt. I'm going to get you, you're not going to have to use your luck, but I want you to roll under your luck to see if there's any demon blood.
Well under, yes.
Okay. So you also find there is another vial of demon blood. There are others there, but they have dried up. But there is one fresh vial.
Yeah, fair enough. I've been using that demon blood for quite a while.
It goes far. You can really stretch it.
Instead of just a pouch of salt, she's going to get quite a lot of salt, if that's okay. Like a little sack of salt.
Okay,
Sack of salt.
Full of sack of salt. All right, I don't think we've really needed to use this, but just in case. So a sack of salt, that's going to take up 2 of your inventory slots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll switch it over. I haven't quite got to the point where I've had more items than slots, but yeah, kind of close at times.
Morty looks over the blade and then looks back to you and says, "This blade has been cleansed. Well done, Inquisitor."
Oh, thank you, Morty, for your assistance here. Before I go, how about a little sparring?
Sparring sounds good. Good. And as Morty is talking, you hear a sound at the door. Good. And then he stops. Boom, boom,
Oh, shit.
boom. And the door boom, clatters down the stone stairs. You have to swiftly jump out of the way, and the door smacks right into Morty, crushing him.
Oh, my gosh.
You hear these big, heavy, metallic footfalls, and you hear a low voice echoing down.
Black dusk, bled at dawn. 3, 4, 3. The tithe is drawn.
And coming down the stairs is this hulking, broad-shouldered, 7-foot-tall black knight with a massive black blade held aloft above his head. And it says,
First is fierce, star of red, bleed hot, wrath, vengeance fed.
and the sword goes down.
Enjoying Tales from the Humpback Sky? Rate, review, and follow wherever you get your podcasts from. It helps more than you think. Thanks for listening.